I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, November the 7th, 2014. A second fatality in the vehicular terror attack that took place Wednesday in Jerusalem. 17-year-old yeshiva student Shalom Ba'adani, who was apparently riding his bicycle near the light rail station at Shimon HaTzadik Street when Palestinian driver Ibrahim al-Akri rammed his van into pedestrians there, died this morning of critical injuries he sustained in the attack and was laid to rest this afternoon in Jerusalem. Ba'adani is now the second fatality in the terror attack, which also claimed the life of Israeli border guard officer Chief Inspector Jadan Assad. Al-Akri was shot and killed by Israel police when after plowing into the pedestrians and attacking others with a metal bar after he exited his car. The Times of Israel reports that thousands of Arab residents of East Jerusalem took part in a symbolic funeral for the terrorist today, and there were several violent clashes reported with Israeli security forces, including rioters throwing Molotov cocktails and firebombs at the soldiers. And hundreds of Palestinian rioters clashed with Israeli forces in the West Bank towns of Ramallah and Hebron as well, as both Hamas and Islamic Jihad called for a day of rage to defend and show solidarity with the Temple Mount. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met today with new European Union Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini, who arrived in Israel today for a two-day visit to the region, her first in her new role, replacing Catherine Ashton. In a joint press conference with the new EU chief, Netanyahu addressed peace prospects with the Palestinians.
The bogus claim that this conflict persists again and again and again because of this or that settlement is false. Because I believe that the issue is not about territory, it's about our existence. It's about the failure to recognize Israel in any boundary, in any border, in any configuration. That was and remains the core of this conflict.
He also stated that recognition from some European countries like Sweden, for example, of a Palestinian state outside of peace talks with Israel was irresponsible.
The European Union would always encourage direct talks, not unilateral steps on both sides, to find the solution of the two states.
The World Jewish Daily reports that the controversial organization J Street took a hard hit during the midterm elections held earlier this week, citing that nearly every candidate the group endorsed lost. The WJD cited a report in the Washington Free Beacon that said that J Street's far-left perspective, which many see as anti-Israel, did not resonate with voters this year, who ultimately chose more centrist pro-Israel candidates. J Street has been also very supportive of President Obama, and as the midterm elections have been characterized in part as a referendum on the president's policies, observers believe it is not surprising that J Street suffered from the anti-Obama backlash. Among the losing candidates J Street backed were Nick Rahl of West Virginia, who signed a letter attacking Israel for defending itself against Hamas rocket attacks. J Street also supported incumbent Democratic Senator Mark Udall, who lost his bid for re-election in Colorado, and Democratic Senate candidate Bruce Braley, who was defeated in Iowa. President Obama offered his congratulations today to Jonathan Greenblatt, Director of the Office of Social Innovation and Civic Participation at the White House, who was named yesterday as the next National Director of the Anti-Defamation League. As we reported to you yesterday, Greenblatt will replace outgoing National Director Abe Foxman when he steps down next summer. The president thanked Greenblatt for his tireless service and said for more than a century, the Anti-Defamation League has been a strong moral voice against anti-Semitism and hatred in all forms. I am confident that Jonathan will build on Abe's extraordinary legacy, ensuring that the Anti-Defamation League remains at the forefront of efforts to achieve greater justice, freedom, and equality for people in the United States and across the globe. United States General and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Martin Dempsey defended the actions of the IDF in the recent Gaza war, praising the Army's efforts to avoid civilian casualties.
I actually do think that Israel went to extraordinary lengths to limit collateral damage and civilian casualties. But look, in this kind of conflict, where you are held to a standard that your enemy is not held to, you're going to be criticized for civilian casualties. The IDF is not interested in creating civilian casualties. They're interested in stopping the shooting of rockets and missiles out of the Gaza Strip and into Israel.
And staying with the IDF, a star-studded gala last night in Los Angeles for the Friends of the IDF raised over $33 million. Among the 1,200 who came out to show their support for Israel and its soldiers, former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, Barbra Streisand, Sylvester Stallone, and FIDF National Board member and Hollywood producer Chaim Saban, who said the caliber of gala attendees from Hollywood, especially a large contingent of people without ties to Israel or Judaism, ultimately speaks to their admiration for the heroic men and women of the IDF and the incredible work that the FIDF does to support them. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, November the 7th, 2014. Remember, live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 tonight. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.